Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Mudyantirandasya Yananachanakaya Chakshuramitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swayam Padambitam Amiriyam Shri Guru Shri Gudam Padakalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Vishnu Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarvana Raghunatham Vikam Tam Sajivam Sarvaivam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sarvana Vitam Shri Shantam Vitam Vishnu He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Kanchana Gaurandi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriyam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Sindhubheva Paritanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadhyo Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for taking the time on Wednesday evenings to come for discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we have been discussing the question put forth by the sages of Naimisharami about narrating the glory of the Supreme Lord. And in the course of discussion, the question came about why did Parikshit Maharaj sit down on the bank of Ganga for 7 days to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So we started understanding that Sutta Goswami is narrating the history of Parikshit Maharaj. So last time we discussed about how Ashwatthama, out of fear, released Brahmastra on Pandavas and then diverted it to Parikshit Maharaj. So when Ashwatthama diverted the weapon to kill the last child or last descendant of the Pandavas, the mother of the child, Uttara, she actually pleaded to Krishna that, my Lord, if you so desire, let the weapon, Brahmastra, burn me personally, but please make sure that my child is protected. This is actually a natural affection of the mother. The mother is willing to die just to save the child. Unlike in the modern civilization, where the mothers go killing the children. In fact, I think um, the only one good thing about the current administration is that they were actually trying to ban abortions, right? There's a lot of opposition to that. Right? Srila Prabhupada actually said, if human society can stop killing children with abortions and cow killing, the world situation will become much better. He talked about social and political situations. So the world situation will actually become much better if we can only stop two things, cow killing and abortions. But this creates such heavy karma for people. People don't realize that. You see, so many animals are being killed on daily basis, right? The souls of those living entities, they hold a lot of grudge. They are also conditioned souls, right? So they hold a lot of grudge against the human being. So all it takes is just one soul going and haunting the president of the country and inspiring him to wage wars. That's what happens. You see, most of the politicians, they are more or less haunted. Whatever they do doesn't make any sense, right? For no reason, they start the wars. This is actually nothing but the result of these sinful activities which have been conducted, the form of abortions and cow killing. So Uttara, when she pleaded to the Lord, although he is there in everyone's heart as Paramatma, but he entered into the womb of Uttara and he covered the child with his own potency, Vishnu Teja. Although Brahmastra is considered invincible, among the weapons, Brahmastra is considered invincible. Yet, the Brahmastra was nullified when confronted with Krishna's potency. So Krishna, holding Sudarshan Chakra in his hand, he actually counteracted the Brahmastra. And the child in the womb, he actually saw that. He saw that the Brahmastra was coming to destroy him. And some beautiful looking, effulgent personality with dark complexion, wearing yellow dhoti, holding Sudarshan Chakra in his hand, he actually came and counteracted the Brahmastra. So in this way, the child was protected. And Krishna was ready to leave that time. We were actually preparing to leave because battle is over, Pandavas now established. So it is time for him to leave. So Krishna is ready to leave. And that time, Kunti Maharani, she approaches Krishna and she starts, actually we forgot one portion. So when Ashwatthama diverted the Brahmastra, Krishna protected the child. But then Arjun arrested Ashwatthama. And Krishna spoke very angrily. He told Arjun, my dear Arjun, you should not show any mercy to this Dvijabandhu or the relative of a twice born. Now, Dvijabandhu in Sanskrit is actually like bad word. We use sometimes bad words to people to each other, right? So Dvijabandhu is kind of a bad word in Sanskrit. We say Hindi, we say Daridit. So that's that kind of word it is. So Dvijabandhu means Dvija is actually means twice born. Now you see, the birds are also called Dvija because they are twice born. Once the mother lays the egg, and second is when the bird hatches out of the egg. So therefore, the bird is considered Dvija because they have two birds. One is the laying of the egg, second is when the bird actually hatches out of the egg. But human beings are supposed to be, certain class supposed to be Dvija, means twice born. So one bird we all have, we take bird from mother's womb. When we come out of mother's womb, that's bird. We celebrate a happy birthday, right? But there is supposed to be another bird where the child actually takes shelter of a bona fide guru and starts learning from him the purpose of human life. Why I am born, why I am here in this world, why the threefold within are troubling me. Ke Ami, Kene Mara, Jare Kapatrai. Who am I? Why the threefold within are troubling me? What is the purpose of my life? Where am I supposed to be heading to? So these are some of the before subject matter a human being should be inquiring about. So human being who takes shelter of Guru and starts inquiring about the subject matter, he is called Dvija because he takes initiation from Guru, which is equivalent to second birth. The first birth everybody gets, but a human being who does not take second birth, he is considered as good as an animal. That means the person who does not approach a bona fide Guru and start inquiring about the purpose of life, that human being is considered as good as an animal. So, Dvija means a person who actually approaches the Guru and starts inquiring from, taking initiation and start inquiring about something. Start practicing the principles which Guru, gives to the disciple. So, such a person is called Dvija. So, generally, in human society, as Krishna says in Gita, is divided into four sections, varnas, the four social orders, namely Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So, except the Shudras, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, they are expected to be Dvijas. They are actually called Dvijas. So, not only Brahmanas are called Dvija, but Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, all three categories are called Dvijas. But Brahmanas are called Dvija means best of the Dvijas. But Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, all three considered Dvija, means they are expected, even Vaishyas are expected to have a guru and work for the higher purpose in life. So, Ashwatthama was son of a Brahmana. Right? So, and he was practicing Brahmana. He was actually a Brahmana, so he was actually Dvija. But when in a family where somebody is born at a Brahmana's family or a Kshatriya's family or a Vaishya's family, but does not behave as per their varna, but behave like a Shudra or lower than Shudra, that person is called Dvija Bandhu. Dvija Bandhu means he's a relative of Dvija. I mean, he's related only. He's not Dvija himself. He's just related to Dvija. So a Brahmana's son who engages in meat eating or smoking or drinking liquor, he's Dvija Bandhu. He's not a Brahmana. Similarly, Kshatriyas, his son or their son, if he behaves in a Shudra way, he's a Dvija Bandhu. Similarly, Vaishya, who does not behave, as per the proper code of conduct, start drinking liquor or, eating obnoxious food, and he also called Dvija Bandhu. So, because Ashwatthama killed the children in the sleeping state, that's not befitting to a Brahmana. Brahmana never kills somebody in the sleeping state. Kshatriya would never even imagine doing such a thing. And Vaishya, of course, they don't have courage to kill anyone. They won't kill anyone. So, therefore, he is referred as Dvija Bandhu. Ashwatthama is Krishna says that Arjuna, you should not show any mercy to this Dvija Bandhu, this relative of twice born. because he has killed children neither for his own interest nor for the interest of his master, Duryodhana. Because Duryodhana also did not approve, right? When he brought the heads of the five sons of Draupadi, Duryodhana was so disgusted with Ashwatthama. He said, what nonsense did you do? I wanted Pandava's head, not the children's head. So even Duryodhana did not like it. So Krishna was very angry. He said, you should not show any mercy to him. And moreover, I have personally heard you promised Draupadi that you will bring the head of this person. So kill him immediately. But Arjuna arrested him. He didn't kill him. So he brought him to Draupadi. And Draupadi, when she saw that Ashwatthama was bound like an animal, she didn't like it. This is the nature of women. Women are very soft by nature. Although her five sons are killed by this person, right? And yet she says, no, please do not mistreat him. He's your guru, because he's son of Dronacharya. This is the person who actually taught you the military art. So even if you are able to shoot arrows or have expertise in militaries, it's because of his father. His father gave you the training. She said in Arjun. And moreover, the wife of Dronacharya, Kripi, she did not go sati rights. She did not, in any Vedic culture, if the husband died, the woman would feel so much separation from the husband. There used to be so much affection. There used to be so much, uh, bonding between husband and wife. So, as soon as the husband died, the wife would actually voluntarily enter in fire. Taking the body of the husband, she would actually sit in the fire. So that was called sati life, but that was not forced. The woman would feel so much separation. She would never imagine living without a husband. But in today's day, we cannot even appreciate or understand anything about it. Because nowadays that bonding is not there. Husband and wife, they have very little affection for each other. So, Draupadi said, the wife of Dronacharya, she did not do the sati rites because she had a son. So if a woman has a son, she's not allowed to, even if she may feel separation from the husband, she's not allowed to kill herself like that. If she doesn't have children, yes, she can. But if she has a child, she's not allowed to. She has to live for the sake of child. So he said, Kripi, she did not go, did not, use sati rites because of her son. And moreover, I don't want Ashwatthama's mother to be crying like I am crying for my children. My children are dead, but that doesn't mean that you punish him and kill him, and even Kripi also cries like me. So that's not appropriate. And moreover, if the Kshatriyas, they lose their control of their senses and they become violent to the Brahmins, and the wrath or the anger of Brahmana actually burns their whole dynasty. So it's not befitting for you to please release him. And when Draupadi spoke in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj fully approved the Draupadi's point of view. The king, right, is supposed to do the justice. That okay, this person, he has killed the children in sleeping state, he should be given punishment. In today's day, if it is proved, right, that the person will be executed. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was a very virtuous king. He knew the laws governing human society. The general law is eye for eye, life for life. If somebody kills, then he should be killed in return. That's a supposed to be the punishment. It was actually for the betterment of the person who did crime of killing somebody. The law of karma, they come back in a very heavy way. If somebody killed a human being for no reason, right, then such a person should be in return killed so that his karma is nullified. Otherwise, the next life, that person will be killed in unjust way. So kings used to, knowing the law of karma, they used to give punishment in this way. It was not some whimsical system. It was because the kings used to be Rajarishi. They were very much conversant with law of nature, the law of karma. So, but the scriptural injunction is a Brahmana should not be given death punishment. Especially Brahmanas, women, children, cows, and old people. They should not be given death punishment. Even if they did something wrong, they should not be given death punishment. So, because he was a Brahmana, or we degraded to the Bandhu platform now, so he's not be treated as Brahman, but he should not be given death punishment. So Yudhishthira, therefore, he fully supported the view of Draupadi. And Nakul Sahdev also approved it. But Bhima, he will not agree. He said, no, we should not show any mercy to this. He is not a Brahman, he is Dvija Bandhuna. He is not behaved as per a Brahminical code. He should be killed immediately. So Krishna looked at Arjuna. My dear Arjuna, what are you going to do? You don't want to kill Ashwatthama. Nobody doesn't want him to. Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahdev, everybody, if you could Bhima does, he wants to be killed. How are you going to resolve the situation? You have to satisfy Bhima. It's not like that. You are one majority saying no, therefore you cannot do. No, it's not like that. Just because majority says one thing doesn't mean that you can neglect one person's view. Because Bhima was also speaking dharma. He was also speaking, he was not whimsical. He said he's a Dvijabandhu now, he is not Brahmana first of all, he should be killed. But Arjuna did not like that idea. So Krishna told Arjuna, what are you going to do now? You have to satisfy Bhima. Krishna personally told him, you have to kill him. Krishna said, you have to satisfy me, you have to satisfy Bhima, you have to satisfy Draupadi, Yudhishthira, Nakul, Sahdev, everybody you have to satisfy. How are you going to do it now? It's interesting, right? It is not like, such an easy puzzle. You could use jigsaw puzzle in so many puzzles, right? Krishna sometimes puts his devotees in a very perplexing situation. But it's not only Krishna, but sometimes devotees also put Krishna in perplexing situation. In the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a description when Balaram killed Roma Shamsuka, right, using the blade of brass. So Brahmana said to Balaram, my dear Lord, you didn't do the right thing. We had blessed him for long life, and you killed him. You nullified our blessings. Balaram said, okay, no problem, I can revive him. He's God, right? He said, I can revive him back. I'll bring him to life back. They said, no. You use the weapon of Kushagras to kill him. We don't want your weapon to be going null and void. So your weapon should, whatever job the weapon did, that should remain intact. But make sure that our blessings also remain intact. So now let's imagine. There are sages that are telling Balaramji, don't make him alive, but make sure that he also lives long life. So Balaram resolved the situation by, he said, okay, the son lives by the father, so he transferred all the blessings of Brahman to the son of Ramana. So the Goswami was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. So he transferred all the blessings to Sutta Goswami. So Sutta Goswami was blessed by Balaramji. Therefore, he is actually representing Guru Tattva. So similarly, when Arjuna heard this, He understood Krishna's purpose. When Krishna's playing such tricks, he understood. He was a very close friend of Krishna, right? He knew Krishna in and out. So, okay, no problem. So he actually shaved off the head of Ashwatthama, he removed all his hair, and Ashwatthama was born with a jewel on his forehead. So Ashwatthama, when he was born, he came out of mother's womb. He had a beautiful jewel here on his forehead. It was part of his body. So wherever Ashwatthama went, he did not have to do introduction because everybody knew jewel on the forehead means Ashwatthama. So Arjun removed that jewel from his forehead, took away all his wealth and property, and drew him out from his kingdom that you cannot live there. So this is the punishment. Yeah, removed all his hair. Shikha and all everything, right? Removed all his hair. So this is actually the punishment for a Dvijabandhu, especially a Brahmana who is fallen from his position. This is the punishment, appropriate punishment. Especially just imagine Ashwatthama, he was known for his jewel. That means this day onwards, wherever he went, somebody asked him, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Ashwatthama." What? Nonsense. You cannot be Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama is a jewel maker, right? That means every time somebody asks him who is he will be insulted. And that insult itself is worse than death. That means he will not be dying once. Every time people insulted him, he will be dying. So this is the way of killing practically. Because the person who gets insulted every day, that life is worse than death. It actually said, the Krishna also told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna, in my opinion, if you get, if people, think that you ran away from the battlefield out of fear, that'll be worse than death. My suggestion, you die here, much better for you, rather than living, a life of insult. So, in this way, they drew out Ashwatthama. And and then, of course, Krishna protected the Parishit Maharaj. Pandavas are settled down and Krishna is ready to leave. So he's ready to leave. Kunti Maharani, remembering all the difficulties she went through, she started offering prayers to Krishna. And these are some of the most beautiful prayers. Srila Prabhupada actually compiled or wrote a separate book on this entire prayers. So, of course, Kunti Maharani is the aunt of Krishna. She is the sister of Krishna's father, Vasudev's sister. So, she has naturally kind of a paternal, or you can say maternal affection. She's like a motherly figure for Krishna. But at the same time, she's conscious of Krishna's Aishwarya, Krishna's opulent position, that is Supreme Lord. So she starts actually offering beautiful prayers, knowing Krishna's position as the Supreme Lord, at the same time having that motherly affection. So she starts prayers saying, Namaste Purusham Bhagyam Ishvara Prakriti Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarvahim Avasthitam. She said, "My dear Lord, Namaste Purusham Bhagyam. I offer my pranam, I offer my namaskar to you, my Lord. Ishvara Prakriti Param. You are the Ishwar, you are the Supreme Lord, but you are beyond the Prakriti, Prakriti Param. And Alaksham Sarva Bhutana. Aksha means eyes and Alaksha means something which is not visible to eyes. So alaksham sarva bhutanam. You are not visible to all the living beings, to everyone. No? Although antar bahir avasthitam, though you are situated in everyone's heart, and you are outside also. Sometimes people who are atheistic, even when they come to temple, they say, "Where's your God?" They say, "Here, on the altar we have God." Oh no, this is stone murti. This is stone statue. Where's your God? Just like Hiranyakashipu, he was asking, right, Prahlad, where's your God? Is he everywhere? Yes, he's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yes, he's in the pillar. It's the pillar. Let me see where's your God. So, Kunti Mahani says, you are not visible to everyone, though you are situated in their own heart also. And you are situated outside also. And yet, they cannot see you. So, Krishna is sometimes compared with sun, brilliant sun, right? But the nature is so wonderful. There is one particular living entity who goes blind in the presence of sun. You know that? Ullu. Owl. Unfortunately, Duryodhana was like owl. Owl. He was Ulluka. His father was Ulluka. His father was blind anyway, right? He couldn't recognize Krishna. Even though he recognized Krishna, but he still was blind. He heard entire Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna's Virat Rupa was described, and yet he was blind. And Duryodhana, being his son, he was also equally blind. So that's what Kunti Maharaj is saying. Although you're situated in everyone's heart, inside, outside, but people cannot see you. And she says, why they cannot see you? Maya javanika channam agya adhoksha avyayam na lakshaye murdisham nato natyadho yatha. He said, why people cannot see you? Because Maya javanika achanna. Javanika means curtain and achanna means covered. So you are covered by a curtain of Maya, illusory energy. So this is actually very interesting. Krishna, he is covered by a curtain of Maya. Krishna himself also says in Bhagavad Gita, Naham Prabhasya Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samavita. I am covered by my Yoga Maya potency. I am not visible to everyone. Similarly, here Kunti is saying, you are covered. You are covered by the curtain of Maya. And she says, Adoksha Avyayam. You are Adoksha. Adoksha means you cannot be perceived through the senses. Adi Akshaja. Aksha means eyes, or we can say senses, all the senses. But something beyond these sense perception is called Adhoksha. And then, Nalakshay Mura Visha. Mura Visha means dull-headed people. Or Mura, Drisha. Drisha means who sees, and Mura means foolish. So foolish people, you know, who try to see through their eyes, Charma Chakshu, they cannot see you because just like Nato Natya Dharo Yatha, just like a actor, a movie actor, sometimes he dresses himself so nicely, so differently, nobody can recognize him. And then she says, Tatha Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanartham Patam Pashyami Sriyam. So now foolish people cannot see Krishna, but she says, you can be seen or you can be perceived by Tatha Paramahamsana Munina Amala Atmana. So these are the people who can see you. Who can see you? Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means, now this word Paramahamsa is very interesting. Hamsa is a bird, swan, who has a very peculiar quality. Hamsa has a very special quality. How many of you know? Hamsa has one peculiar quality. Another, what is the quality?
It distinguish water from milk.
If you give the swan milk, mixed with water in a pot, it can only extract milk and leave water behind. That means the swan has the ability to extract milk even if it is mixed with water. Right? So this is a quality which actually means extracting the essence. So similarly, some sannyasis who are very elevated in their consciousness, that means they can differentiate between matter and spirit. They are entitled as Paramahamsas. That means they have ability to differentiate between what is material, what is spiritual. They can differentiate between spirit and matter. So, therefore, they are called Paramahamsas. So, Kunti is saying such Paramahamsas, such elevated sannyasis, not a person who simply accepts sannyas, but who actually realized, who has understanding of what is matter and what is spirit. Such Paramahamsas, Munina, Muni means who are very highly, you can say, Muni is only the Sanskrit word for doctorate, a person who has done doctorate, PhD. They are called actually in Sanskrit Muni. So, Munina Amala Atmana. Amala Atmana means those who are completely free from all mala, all contaminations, material contaminations. Such people, Bhakti Yoga Vidana, those who are actually try to understand you, they understand you through Bhakti Yoga, through devotional service. So she made Katham Pashyevi, saying, how can a woman, a less intelligent woman like me, can understand you? Because generally women are more occupied with their family duties, right? You see the woman in Vedic culture, they used to be engaged in cooking, cleaning, taking care of children, right? And all the household duties. Of course, nowadays we don't even get to see such duties. I've seen my mom, she would do, when I was going, that time she used to even grind the grains at home. I don't know how many of you seen, but she used to grind grains at home. And then, make food. And after 3 meals a day, nowadays nobody makes, how many meals? 3 meals, right? Fresh meals. And I came to, initially in 2004, I came to New Jersey. So the combination of devotees, and they said the devotees, they were feeling after Sunday feeling, they were feeling better for me. I said, why are you feeling different? Will you eat in the evening? No, no, this will be eaten tomorrow. Tomorrow? Why are you eating tomorrow? And they said, no, this is how we do. We cook actually for an entire week. Because Saturday, Sunday is the only day we get. We husband and wife both are working, so we have to. We cook and keep in the fridge for an entire week. Oh. Keeping in the fridge for an entire week. But, I've seen my mom, she used to cook 3 meals, grinding grains at home. No machines. We didn't have any machines, right? And after cooking 3 meals, grinding grains at home, cutting all the vegetables fresh, not that we'll have refrigerator and keep the. When I grew up, we didn't have refrigerator at home. So just imagine bringing fresh vegetables, mostly vegetables my father used to bring, but cutting vegetables, cooking 3 meals, and then she would have time to do some work like, stitching some clothing or doing some, embroidery work, hand embroidery work. And, still they had some time. And still she would have time to even go for satsang.
She was not even stressed.
She was not even stressed. I don't know how she was getting time, I really don't know. But she was getting time.
There was no TV and phone at that time.
Exactly. We actually didn't had TV, we just saw how it evolved, right? It used to start only on Saturdays or Sundays actually, 4:30 in the evening, you know, and we missed working only for 2, 3 hours. Rest of the week it will be just shut down, right? But you know, she said, how can a woman like me, because a woman is still always engaged in so many household duties, they would not have time to study scriptures or understand God, you know. So she's saying, how can a let's say a woman like me can understand you? And then she actually glorifying Krishna by chanting beautiful names. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cham Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Pankajanavarya Namo Pankajamani Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajamani. She's actually uh, first starting with glorifying Krishna in relationship to his devotees. Because Krishna is to be glorified in relationship to his devotees. Not that Krishna is only God, therefore we worship him. No. The Prabhupada, when he accepted devotees initially to make paintings of Krishna, he said Krishna is always with some of his devotees. He is never alone. So some devotee painted Krishna's painting alone, but Prabhupada said Krishna is never alone. So he's with some of his devotees, whether a butterfly or a bird or a cow or a gopa or gopi, he's always with someone. Krishna is never alone. So she's saying, she's actually starting with Krishna Vasudeva, you are son of Vasudeva. Devaki Nandana, you are son of Devaki. And then Nanda Gopakumara, you are son of Nanda Maharaj. Govinda, oh Lord, who actually give pleasure to cows and senses. I offer my obeisance to you. And now, Namo Pankajam, Prabhupada beautifully explains this. So he says, Kunti Maharani is starting with Krishna's navel, Namo Pankaja Navahari. Then she looking at Krishna's mala, Namo Pankaja Malini, you are wearing the beautiful garlands. Namo Pankaja, she goes to the eyes, Namo Pankaja Netraya. And then she goes, Namaste Pankajam, she goes to the feet of Krishna. Now, how is it? We have learned, right? You always start Krishna darshan from feet and then you still go. But how did Mother Kunti? She is, starting with navel, going up to the face of Krishna, and then going to his feet. Because she's Bua, right? She does not want to embarrass Krishna. That Krishna, I'm looking at your feet. No. Bua can, directly look at, but still she's following the etiquette. She's starting with navel and slowly gradually looking up. And then, of course, she's going to feet of Krishna also. And therefore, that is why she said, Namaste Pandanami in last. And then she said, my dear Lord, you protected Devaki from the fear of Kamsa. Because Kamsa had imprisoned Devaki and Vasudeva. But she said, you have protected Devaki from the fear of Kamsa, and you protected me along with my children from so many calamities. Now here, Kunti Maharani is actually expressing her gratitude to Krishna, that my dear Krishna, you have been more merciful to me. Because Devaki, you did not protect her children. Devaki's children died, right? But in the case of Kunti, her children were also protected. There were so many attempts to kill the children also, but Kunti Maharani was protected and her children were also protected. Why? Because Kunti Maharani didn't have a husband. Devaki had a husband, Vasudeva was there with her. So she had kind of a support. But Kunti Maharani had no support. So Krishna was actually more merciful to her, in a helpless condition. And then Kunti Maharani actually started glorifying Krishna, my Lord, how you protected us. See, these prayers are not just random prayers. She's actually glorifying the Lord that you protected us. You know, you protect Devti, but you protected us along with my children. You protected me. How you protected me? She says, first of all, you saved us from uh, poisonous cake. You know, we know when Bhimasena, he was in Gurukul, to Dronacharya's Gurukul, that time, Duryodhan conspired, because Duryodhan and Bhimsen, they would sometimes fight, and Bhimsen was always more powerful. You know, he would actually not only, defeat Duryodhan, but along with Duryodhan, he would defeat all his brothers also. You know, so Duryodhan used to feel really jealous of him, that how he's so powerful. So one day he conspired. He conspired and he mixed the poison because he knew Bhimsen likes kheer a lot. So he mixed the poison, a deadly poison, to in a kheer and he fed it to Bhimsen. And after Bhimsena, drank that poisonous kheer, he was afflicted with that poison. He felt unconscious. They took him and threw him in the river. So the body, drowned in the river, but the snakes gradually reached to the bottom, and there were snakes in the bottom. They started biting Bhimasena. So now he had poison in his body, and snakes started biting him. So it actually kind of nullified his poison. And when he woke up, he started beating the snakes. So the snakes, they got afflicted. They said, please don't beat us. We'll give you some nectar. So they gave him the nectar. And Bhimasena, by drinking the nectar, he developed the strength of 10,000 elephants. So Duryodhana wanted to kill him, but he came out more powerful. But it's not accidental that, he's bitten by snakes and snakes, he comes back to life and then, snakes offer him nectar. It's not just accidental, it's actually arrangement of Krishna. So Kunti Maharani understands that this is actually the arrangement of Krishna, that my son, although he was fed poison, but he survived. And in fact, he became more powerful on the pretext of that snake, the drinking poison. Krishna made him even more powerful. You see that you protected us from the poisonous cave, then from a great fire. No. Visha Mahagni. So Mahagni was when Pandavas, they grew young, to like teenagers, the young man, kind of, they say in their late teens. That time, there was an announcement to be made because Dhritarashtra, he had become king in the absence of no king. The Pandu died young, right? In a very young age. And that time, all the sons of Pandu, they were very small boys. So there was no one to rule. Therefore, Dhritarashtra was made into king in an emergency situation. But now the children are grown up. They were growing into young men. So before they take over, they need to be announced as who is going to be the next king. So generally, that person is announced as a prince, the chief prince, who is going to become the king next. So under the pressure, Dhritarashtra never wanted. He wanted Duryodhana to be, become the king. But because of family lineage and because of the guidance of Bhishma Dev and all the elderly Brahmanas in the family, he was obliged to, unwillingly, he was obliged to make Yudhishthira Maharaj as a prince. That he will become, he will become the king. So this was such a blow to Dhritarashtra himself and to Duryodhana. Duryodhana always wanted to be king, like his father. He had also had ambition. He didn't have any inclination to follow dharma or family lineage. He just wanted his own ambitions to be fulfilled. And of course, he was misguided by his uncle, maternal uncle, Shakuni. So, Shakuni, he guided Duryodhana that you can get rid of all the five Pandavas, you know, by burning them into fire. So the conspiracy was made that um, on the pretext of sending Pandavas to a place called Varnava, where there was a festival, local festival, right? So somebody is going to become the king. He has to connect with local people, right? So they said there's a big festival in Varnava. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, you should go. Yudhishthira, the prince, you should go there, and participate in the local festival, and connect with people. And of course, take your brothers also with you, mother also with you. So everybody goes. So all the five Pandavas, along with Kunti Maharani, they are sent to Varnava. And Shakuni had already made a plot for if the prince is going to go, he has to have a nice palace. So he actually built a nice palace. But the whole palace was made from the wax, the leather, and all kinds of substance, camphor, all substance which easily catch fire. He made the whole palace from only these substances. And generally, whenever they would make the palace in the ancient time, they would make having the palace door from all the four sides. It's called Sarvato Bhadra, and Vastu is called Sarvato Bhadra. That means very auspicious, having doors from all the four sides. East, west, north, south, all four sides there should be door. So, Duryodhana, he made this home having only one door, one side, one entry, one exit only. All other sides were fully packed, no way to come out. It was planned very well. So that if catches fire, right, you need to near the exit. But till the time you reach the exit, the whole palace is on the fire. Right? So, the Mahabharata actually has a great detail about this. But, before they were going to Varnava, Vidura, he gave a hint to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And of course, Yudhishthira Maharaj was also trained very well in diplomacy. Right? The kings were not simply trained to, how to shoot the arrows and all. They were taught all the different aspects of royal life. The king, especially a Rajarishi, used to have a tremendous training about diplomacy, how to deal with people, how to understand the intentions of people when you're talking to somebody. Not only that, but even if you are put in a place, how you should always think of how you can actually come out safely from this place. Even if there's attack from all the sides, how are you going to come out of this place? So one of the principles which is taught to the royal order is whenever you're going to new place, always look for multiple exit doors. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj went to this palace, he thought there's only one exit door. He didn't like it, and the whole palace was smelling like camphor. So it's not that kings used to be a Rajarishi like Yudhishthira Maharaj would be simply ignorant. No. In fact, Brother Samhita explains the kings were also trained. If they are given food, simply by looking at the food, they can make out that there is a poison in the food or not. They were given training like that. So many different aspects, minute aspects of, a successful king. The training was given to all the Kshatriyas. They were not simply shooting arrows. A lot of training was given. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he figured out something is wrong here. So, with the help of a person, he actually dug a tunnel. Right from their room in the palace, they dug a tunnel, far distant from this palace. And of course, Duryodhana had made plan to won the palace on a certain day, on the day of Amavasya, when there's dark moon. Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandava, they set the palace on fire before only, when they were inside, and they went through the tunnel and exited. So, Duryodhana thought that, oh, Pandavas got burned. And of course, Dhritarashtra, he may not have been the part of that conspiracy, but he was also really happy that, okay, Pandavas died, now my son can become the king. So he was not so sorry for, the loss of Pandavas. But this was also Krishna's arrangement. That Vidura actually gave a hint to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And the proper arrangement was made so that they can make a tunnel and escape from that. So she said, my dear Lord, you protected us from that great fire. And then you saved us from cannibals. So when they were hiding from that time, after escaping from the fire, the Pandavas went to the forest and there was a cannibal, man-eating Rakshasa. His name was Hidimba. So Bhimasena, he actually fought with him and he killed him also. So it was by Krishna's mercy that they could actually even conquer and kill the Hidimba. And of course, Bhimasena married the sister of the Hidimba, who was known as Hidimba. And they had a son named Ghatotkacha, who actually fought on the side of Pandavas during the battle of Kurukshetra. And then she said, you saved us from a vicious assembly, where Draupadi was actually brought. And the effort was made to strip her naked. Kunti Mani said, my dear Lord, you protected us from that. You protected us from the sufferings in the exile. And the Pandavas were actually in the exile along with Draupadi. Because Kunti did not go there, but Krishna saved him so many times. And especially Durvasa Muni meant, he could have cursed the Pandavas, Krishna protected them. And even during their exile, when they were actually supposed to live incognito, by Krishna's mercy, Pandavas, that 1 year of incognito, Duryodhana and his party could never detect them. So, Kunti Mani is saying, my Lord, it was by your mercy. And then on the battlefield, so many great warriors, like Bhishma, like Drona, Karna, Jayadratha, that's such powerful warriors. And you protect us from all of that. And finally, now you protected us from the weapon of Ashwatthama and protected Parikshit Maharaj. So she was praying in this way. And she said, my Lord, now all our troubles are over and you are going. It looks like as long as we had these troubles, you are always with us. And that's when she prays. And she said, Vipada santu tatra tatra jagadguru. My dear Lord, we pray that let these vipadas come, these difficulties come again and again. Because bhavato darshanam, if we get to see you, then apunar bhavadarshanam, then we will never see the repetition of birth and death. So she's so eager to see Krishna, even that means a lot of difficulties coming over and over again. So in this way, Kunti Maharani actually offers beautiful prayers. Then she says, Janma Aishwashita Shrivi, Edamana Adapama. My dear Lord, people who have the pride in Janma, that means they are born in a good family. Aishwarya, they have a lot of wealth or aristocracy. Shruta, if they are very learned, or Shrivi, if they have very beautiful bodily features. Edaman, Mada Kuman. These things actually make a person mother. Mother means intoxicated or proud. And he says, but you, my dear Lord, Tom Akinchana Gochari, you are actually the property of Akinchana. So people who have a lot of worldly possessions, they generally don't care for Krishna. But Krishna is generally sought after by people who are materially impoverished. Now, materially impoverished or akinchana does not mean a person who is actually poor. Okay? A person who is very poor, doesn't have much money, doesn't mean that. Akinchana means a person who does not have anything material. The person may be a king. Okay? He may be living in a royal palace. But akinchana means he does not have any sense of material possessions. He may be, having a lot of possession, a lot of wealth, but he knows that this wealth, it has been put in my possession. Anytime I leave the body, it will be gone. It doesn't really belong to me. So, therefore, as long as the person has all the material possession, he uses them in Krishna's service. So, in that sense, the person does not have any material possessions. So, Kunti Devi says, my dear Lord, you are actually the possession of materially impoverished people. Namo akinchana vittaya. Nivritta guna vittaye. Atma ramaya shantaye. Kaivalya padaye namah. My Lord, I offer my obeisance to you. Namo akinchana vitta. Vitta means wealth. You are the wealth of materially impoverished people. Nivritta guna vittaye. Nivritta means free from, and guna means the three modes of material nature. So, my Lord, you are free from all the affliction of the three modes of material nature. Atma Ramayesh, you are completely self-satisfied. Shanta, you are very peaceful. And Kaivalya Patayam, you are the master of all the people who are seeking liberation. Kaivalya means liberation. The monist actually. You are the master of all the monists. You are the lord of all the monists. In this way, she offers beautiful prayer, and she also remembers Krishna's beautiful pastime. She is meditating, my dear Lord. It is so amazing that even the fear personified is afraid of you. But when Mother Yashoda bound you and she was holding a stick, you were feeling afraid. And you were rubbing your eyes, all the mascara from your eyes that you smeared on your face. She remembered that beautiful pastime. She's saying, this is actually bewildering to me. Even though the fear personified, is afraid of you, you are afraid of Mother Yashoda. How is it that I really don't understand? And then, of course, she glorified the birth of Krishna, the appearance of Krishna in this world. She said, my Lord, you appeared in the Hindu dynasty. People have different opinions, that why you appeared in this world. Some say that, you have taken birth for the sake of rejuvenating the principle of devotional service. To establish Dharma, like Krishna also said in Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Samstapana. So some people say that you have appeared to establish the devotional service or principle of devotional service. Some people say actually that you appeared in Yadu dynasty to please Maharaj Yadu because he was a great devotee. Yadu Maharaj was a great Vaishnava. So they say, you have appeared in the family of Yadu to please Maharaj Yadu. Just like the sandalwood appears on the Malaya hills. I know Chandan, especially, sandalwood is called, in India especially, used to be said, Malayala Chandan. Malayala Chandan means the Chandan from Malaya hills. Now, Chandan can grow anywhere. You can grow in Sacramento also. But generally, Chandan used to grow in abundance in Malaya hills, which is modern day Malaysia. Now they grow rubber a lot. But Chandan used to grow in abundance in Malaysia, in Malaya hills. So therefore Chandan was called Malaya Chandan. But Chandan can grow anywhere, right? But especially grows in Malaya hills. So Krishna can appear anywhere, in any family, right? But he appears especially in Hindu dance. So it's not that Krishna is bound, but Krishna is bound by the affection of his devotees' love. So therefore he is called Yadava. He appeared in the family of Yadus. And then she says, some people say because Vasudev and Devaki they prayed for you, therefore you appeared. To answer their prayers, you appeared as their son. And when she says, some people say that because Brahma, he was afflicted by the prayers of Bhumi Devi. So he prayed to you, and therefore you appeared in this school. And some people say that you appear to establish the principle of devotional service. So, in this way, she's offering beautiful prayers. And finally, she says, my dear Lord, Shrimanti Gayanti Prananti Abhishana Smaranti Nandanti Tavi Rajana. Your devotees, they always delight in hearing about your glories, chanting your glories, and remembering your glories. They feel always very happy and delighted. And they feel happy making others also do the same thing. And finally, she says, my dear Lord, now you are leading us. Just see our situation. You may think that, now we are well situated. We have our, kingdom now. But, we have, if we have no problems and you are leaving, then better that we have the problems. So that you always stay with us. And she also said, my dear Lord, our kingdom is actually flourishing because you have been here. The land has been marked with your footprints, and you have been glancing over. One of the beautiful words Prabhupada actually quotes few times, and he has given few lectures also on that. He said, Tava Ikshatai, my dear Lord, the rivers are full of, rivers are flowing very nicely. The fields are full of grains, and earth is producing sufficient grains and herbs. And we have, trees full of fruits. We have the rivers abundantly flowing and bringing all the minerals. And the mountains are full of minerals, and ocean is full of wealth. What kind of wealth we get from the ocean? Pearls, especially. We don't get so many pearls nowadays, right? But in time of Maharaj Yudhishthira, ocean used to be abundant of pearls. So she said, the ocean is full of wealth. It is all because of your glancing over there. And Srila Prabhupada explains in this regard, when Krishna glances over something, everything becomes actually full of opulences. So we come to temple not just to take darshan of Krishna. We also come to temple so that Krishna glances over me. So when we come to temple, we shouldn't be coming in any way. We should dress nicely. Put our nice attire. Put nice tilak on our body and come to the temple. So that Krishna sees us, then by Krishna looking at us, our life will become full of auspiciousness. And at that time, Kunti Maharani concludes her prayers. In Yudhishthira Maharaj, he approaches Krishna. And he lovingly tell Krishna that please stay for a few more days. And that time Yudhishthira Maharaj also started feeling lamentation. But how Yudhishthira Maharaj is feeling lamentation and how Krishna pacified him, that will continue from next week. So Krishna is about to leave, and Yudhishthira Maharaj lovingly approaches, my dear Lord, please stay for some more days. And Krishna agrees. So we will stop here. If anyone had any reflections or questions.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for your technical translation. So why did Krishna ask Arjun to kill Ashwatthama? I know he did something really terrible act of killing 5 children when they're sleeping. And Pashuddhama is a Brahmin as well. But still Krishna asked us Arjuna to kill. But
Well, as I said, Krishna likes to test his devotees. So he was testing actually Arjun's intelligence. So it's not that Krishna wanted Arjun to kill Ashwatthama, but he wanted to test the what you call intelligence as well as the inclination of Arjun. So sometimes Krishna, he would put different people under the similar test. Like for example, we also hear from the Puranas, Krishna sometimes would speak atheistic philosophy. Like even in Bhagavatam, we see 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Krishna, he's speaking to Nanda Maharaj, atheistic philosophy. When he's telling Nanda Maharaj that, why are you worshipping Indra? What Indra? We are not receiving any special benefit from Indra. Indra is supposed to be doing his duty, he's sending rains to everyone. And moreover, I think we get our result because of our karma. Whatever karma, if our good karma is there, then Indra is obliged, or whoever God is there, he will give us good result. So Krishna is speaking karma mimamsa philosophy, which is actually condemned, which is kind of atheistic philosophy. Karma mimamsa is more or less atheistic philosophy. I mean, God under the control of karma. If you do good karma, he has to give you good result. There's no option for him to, change his. So that makes karma superior to God. So that's not the reality. So Krishna is speaking that karma mimamsa to Nanda Maharaj and all the Brajavasis. But is it that Nanda Maharaj, of course, he did not worship Indra and he started worshipping lower than him because Krishna wanted that. But is it that Nanda Maharaj started karma mimamsa better philosophy? No. But Krishna will sometimes put the devotees through the test. And sometimes he puts the demons also through the test. Like even Bali Maharaj, when Lord Vamandev appeared to Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj said, "Did you ask me anything?" He said, "I want 3 steps of land." And when he understood that it's actually Lord Vishnu, he has come to my doorstep, right? And he was trying to cheat me. So Bali Maharaj could have deviated from the, as Shukracharya was advising that you don't have to give him, 3 steps of land. He's there to simply cheat you. He could have done that. But he was feeling so obliged that Bali Maharaj has come to my door. Krishna, Lord Vaman Dev, he has come to my doorstep begging from me. How can I tell him no? He could have done that, right? He could have very well said, "No, I cannot give you." But he was feeling so obliged that Lord has come to my doorstep. So, although he knew he's going to take away everything from me and give it to my enemy Indra, all right, no problem. He could have preserved his wealth, right? But then Bali Maharaj would not be glorified, right? As he is glorified by the Vaishnavas. So Krishna would actually put, every living entity through the different test. Sometimes he'll put the demons through the test, sometimes he'll put devotees through the test. So whoever passed the test, becomes glorified. So Krishna was testing Arjuna in this case to glorify Arjuna. That Arjuna has discrimination, not that because Krishna said kill him, so he kills the Brahman. No. Killing a Brahman is not an option in the scriptures. So that should not be done. Yes, Najib. He was a special personality. He had that jewel with him, which actually made him more effulgent, very effulgent and very special. I never heard any reason. Do you know any reason? I mean, I don't know. So yeah, we don't have
And
any.
he is still on the earth, is still on the
Yes.
earth.
One of which is
Yeah, he used to know. He's living in Badrika Ashram, studying the scriptures under the guidance of Vyasdev.
he going to be most likely.
Yeah. Next Manantra, he will be the Vyasdev.
Vijay, I have heard this reference a lot of times from everybody. The story about the swan, how what she can isolate water and milk.
Mhm.
But is there any like particular place where we can go and read that in chapter? Story. I mean, the commentary and everywhere it is mentioned, but
It's the
Can we
thing
put
we
on
can
the-
see somewhere.
Some reference in the Sanskrit text she's talking.
story of the swan,
Some Sanskrit text.
some reference maybe scripture.
Prabhupada has written the purport.
Prabhupada written in purports, but yeah, Mataji is asking, is there any Sanskrit text or some shloka there which actually says something like this? I have never come across now. But I know one thing,
Somebody asked me
Srila Prabhupada,
once, and I don't know, so I was.
no, I know. So Srila Prabhupada, whenever he quotes something, it's very amazing. I have found the references after many, many years in the scriptures somewhere. So it must be somewhere in the scriptures, but I don't know. I have not come across any.
It's of course there, but I wanted to.
Yeah, I actually have not come across so far.
No, about the swan.
No, I have heard, and I have said this story even when I was in class or something. But somebody asked me once that where is this reference made? I said I have heard it from other teachers and from Prabhupada, but I don't know exactly any shastric evidence of that.
Maybe I can take this as a homework to find some reference.
Could be the scientific evidence that was for, of course, there it will be mentioned in the Shastra also.
Somewhere it
But
has.
there are something like gravity, we can experience that. So swan, if there are swans in this world, we can practically see that. So there's nothing that Shastra has to tell you. So you can have, there are some things we can practically experience.
Yeah.
We have
Yes,
a
Prabhupada.
couple of things.
Mm.
There was one question about Kunti Devi's yes, Roshali had asked me about the same thing. Namak Pankajana, Namak Pankajana, because we decided that those two prayers every morning.
Mhm.
So she was saying that because Kunti Maharani can say these prayers
Mhm.
because she is Krishna's aunt. But when we are reciting this prayer, should we recite this prayer because we are supposed to take darshan of Krishna from starting from his lotus feet. But when we say Nava Pankajana Avaya, is that clear? So how would you answer?
Well, all the prayers by previous Vaishnavas or Vaishnavacharyas, right? They are always desirable to yeah, recite and follow in their footsteps. So, following in the, like, Srila Prabhupada recommends chanting prayers, Brahma Samhita prayers. These are prayers by Lord Brahma. That is his realization, right? At the beginning of creation. Now, we have not, realized that. He saw, Venam Konantam Aravind Dalai. He's seen Krishna's beautiful form. But we say, if I say that same logic that should I be reciting that prayer? Why not? Yes. So, reciting the prayers of previous Vaishnava or Vaishnavacharyas is actually very much desirable because those prayers are filled with some realizations. Okay. So, those realizations, every devotee has their own realization, but we can always relish the realization of others as well. It's not that I have to only relish my realization. The very fact that we sit and hear Bhagavatam, for what purpose? So that, different devotees have their realizations, when they speak with the realization, that actually nourishes, actually pleases the hearts of devotees. That's what Krishna says also in Gita, right? Mat chitta mat kata pranam, bodhanta paraspara. So Bodhanta Paraspara means, you hear the realization of other Vaishnavas and you also have your own realization, you share those. So we relish the prayers of Kunti Maharani because she's carrying certain mood. Right? But many times I have heard devotees, I cannot pray to Krishna like that, Krishna, let, Nurda Bhavata Santu Tatu. Krishna, let miseries come to my life. I don't want. Bhakti can do that, I cannot. But you will still, relish the prayers, right? That wow, she has guts, she really has guts to pray to Krishna like that. But we relish it, right? So there's nothing wrong in relishing the prayers of the Kunti Mani or the other Vaishnava. Even Gajendra's prayers, right? Or the Raj Maharaj's prayers or Guru Maharaj's prayers or prayers of the Vedas. So such beautiful prayers. So it's actually the purpose of prayers is to fill our heart with realization. When we hear the realization of so many beautiful Vaishnavas, such beautiful realizations, then we become more and more intelligent and we understand Siddhanta. And then realization comes in our heart also in alignment of those Siddhanta. So, yes, Kunti Maharani is, praying that she's looking at the navel of Krishna, then chest, then looking at the face of Krishna, then going to the feet of Krishna. So then you understand, yes, the etiquette is that we start from the feet of Krishna. But somebody who has developed Vatsalya Bhav, it's perfectly fine, even if he looks, not directly at the feet of Krishna first. That's perfectly fine. I remember many years ago, we had gone to Yatra with Maharaj Radhanathan Maharaj, and we were in Jagannath Puri. Okay. So we were invited, we were almost like 500 of us. We had gone for Jagannath Puri Yatra. Talking about 90s, mid 90s, 96 or 97, actually, we went for Jagannath Puri Yatra. So that time, around 500 devotees. They were all invited by B.B. Puri Maharaj, the disciple of Srila Bhakti Thakur, Prabhupada godbrother. So we all went to his ashram, his matha in Jagannath Puri. So he had arranged the lunch for everyone. It was just spontaneous. He said, you just come and we'll have lunch. We were supposed to have lunch at our pandal, but Maharaj said, okay, we'll have lunch here only today. So we went. So Maharaj had trained all the devotees in the body that when we go to some other Gaudiya Matha or some other temple, we strictly follow the etiquette. Okay. So one of the etiquette is you never eat in one of the deities. Okay. So we were told strictly follow that etiquette. If the darshan is open, you're not going to eat. Okay, in front of deities. Follow that etiquette because we are going to Gaudiya Matha. They may think that it's gone. Devotees are so rude in front of deities. They eat. So darshan was open. They had Radha Krishna deity. The darshan was open, and we were all sitting in the temple. With the temple was like in a veranda. It was like a courtyard, open courtyard. We were sitting. The prasadam is served. Nobody's starting. The darshan is open. And there were Jagannath Baldev Subhadra also on the altar. So nobody's starting. Maharaj said, Puri Maharaj said, hey, why are you not starting? Start. And then Maharaj, Radha Maharaj said, but Maharaj, the darshan is open. He said, oh, no, don't worry. Jagannath will be very happy seeing all of you eating. Come on, eat. So, we were very much concerned about etiquette, but his mood was, Krishna will be very happy seeing all of you eating. Come on, eat. Don't worry about that etiquette. And similarly, I remember, so you understand that it's not that it's an offense to eat. Yes, it's an offense for eating from Krishna. In general, we should follow that. But if somebody is doing sometimes eating from Krishna, not that Krishna is sitting with a stick, okay, you ate in front of me, here you get a whip, I'm going to whip you. No, it's not like that. Krishna is not going to punish us for that. So, yes, when we hear such beautiful prayers, then we understand Siddhanta and we actually develop the realization based on those Siddhanta. Of course, our realization will be very uniquely different. Every devotee has uniquely different realization, but it will be based on Siddhanta that we learn from the prayers of others. Makes sense, Prabhu?
Says Kunti Maharani, Vatsalya Bhav or Dasya Bhav?
It's actually Vatsalya mixed with Aishwarya.
Motherly.
Motherly affection, yeah.
Actually, in the purport, in the prayers, Kunti Maharani explains that she didn't want to make Krishna feel uncomfortable. That is why even though she knew she didn't want to make him uncomfortable, that is why she started from
That's right.
Maharani.
And that's a Vatsalya bhav. You don't want to make Krishna feel low.
Because he was like a son, right? So if you look at your son's feet or bow down to your son's feet, he will feel uncomfortable that my mom or my aunt is doing that. So that was her like bhav.
How did Krishna greet, actually, Shri Krishna greet Kunti Maharani? He touched her feet, right? Yeah.
Vishnu Maharaj.
Oh, Vishnu.
Because he was elder.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, I want to suggest that we should have read this very slowly and gone more deeper into this prayer. So they are very beautiful.
I know.
Mataji is covering that. Mataji is covering. Mataji has a class about prayers.
Yeah, she is having exclusively prayers on. Yeah.
Starting with, I think, Kunti Maharani's prayers.
Yes.
Starting 11, 7, 8.
Our purpose is different. We want to, of course, we will be covering the prayers.
So
Huh?
they are very beautiful prayers.
Yeah, they are beautiful prayers. Actually, not only these, if you take every prayer from Bhagavatam, they have, you can actually see they have certain mood, of whoever is offering prayer, they have certain mood and they're very appropriate. Sometimes you think, oh, they're all offering, same prayer, but no, they have actually very specific mood.
And when Kunti Maharani tells Krishna that giving more calamities, actually it builds our faith also. Seeing her faith in Krishna, it builds our faith more stronger.
Yeah. How do you have something to do?
So Ashwatthama was not killed because he was Brahmin. I
Hmm.
think some other reasons were also there. But in the battle of Mahabharata, Dronacharya, he was Brahmin and he was the guru of Pandava and he was Kshotri.
Hmm.
तो मुझे ये समझना है कि फिर उनको ब्राह्मण होते हुए भी क्यों प्रश्न करते हैं?
That's a very good question. Okay. So I'm not sure if everybody heard online. Mataji's question is, we said that Dronacharya should not, Ashwatthama should not be killed because he was a Brahmana. But then Dronacharya's father was also Brahman. And he was killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Mataji, when it comes to battlefield, then there's no consideration of Brahmanship. Anyone who's coming on the battlefield with the intention of fighting, they can be killed without any reservation. Because if you consider that Brahmana, then he will kill everyone, right? So there's no question of anyone coming on the battlefield, then he has to be treated as a warrior. Then everybody has the right to kill him if they are able to kill him. So on the battlefield, there's no consideration like Brahman. Everybody is just a warrior. So therefore, Dronacharya was killed.
Ashwatthama's case happened outside of the battle.
Outside. Battle is over already.
Oh,
He actually went, in the middle of night and killed him. And then Krishna Arjuna arrested him, right? So it's not battlefield. Was it a battlefield? Yes. Even he would have been killed. Yes, please.
There's a similar question to what Mataji asked initially, like, was Krishna testing all of his, like, Arjuna, right? Saying that you kill Ashwatthama. And I was just wondering, like, how come Draupadi, who is the mother, right, whose 5 children are killed, how come she pardoned Ashwatthama? Like, what in the earth, like 5 kids are killed and still she pardons, like how big heart she had, like what was it, like Krishna who, like how did that happen like this? Yeah. unimaginable.
No, this actually indicates that women generally have very soft hearts. Women are by nature very soft in the heart, and they have more emotion side is much more stronger. You know, so that's actually one of the reason. Also, in the Vedic culture, you will see never a woman would never be put into administration, because administration sometimes you have to really take rough decisions. You know. Nowadays, of course, like women can do better job. You know, but in general, the woman will be very soft. You know, they have emotional side very stronger. So it's difficult for them to take some rough decisions, like, you know, in this case, dealing with somebody in a very strict way, right? Because he did something like that. So therefore, it's not surprising that Draupadi is actually feeling affectionate and respectful to Ashwatthama. That's natural for women.
So is she exhibiting like the quality of a devotee and the Shastra knowledge and along?
Of course, this is definitely the quality of a devotee. You know, Vaishnava, like Arjuna also didn't want to kill any of the people on the battlefield. Right? He said, even if they come and kill me, it's much better, Krishna. I consider that is better if they come and kill me. I don't even lift the weapons. But that's a quality of a Vaishnava, of course, definitely. But even in general, women are very soft at heart. You know.
I wouldn't
So-
disagree that.
Huh?
I wouldn't disagree that.
No, Prabhuji, in third
Yeah.
canto of Srimad Bhagavatam,
Mm.
Jai Vijay pastime,
Hmm.
in that whole pastime, and one purport Prabhupada, women are 9 times more stronger, more patient, more, that more, 9 times more than men.
Hmm.
Yeah, that much, 9 times more.
No wonder they can take care of children when their children are very small. Men will lose the patience very easily, right?
Actually, this of Draupadi, it is kind of a change of heart. If you see in the beginning, we also said she wanted Arjuna to bring his head so that she can stand on the head and then take on the water.
Yeah.
But then when she sees Ashwatthama bound, and then after seeing, she like her womanly nature is disturbed.
Yeah.
So it's change of heart.
Yes, ma'am.
About Brahmastra also we had discussion. In Bhagavatam actually it is said that the first time when Arjuna and Ashwatthama released the Brahmastra both, Arjun then with Krishna's permission,
Arjun withdrew both the
Arjuna
Brahmastra.
withdrew both the
Brahmastra,
Brahmastra.
yes. And then later on it says, you
Yeah.
know, Ashwatthama. So I did not bring both the ideas because it may appear that Ashwatthama is punished now. Where did he will use the Brahmastra from, right? He's already driven out, so he doesn't have any power. So he already humiliated, and he actually accepted that moment that,
That was the thought actually.
yeah.
Okay.
So therefore, I think there are two versions. Bhagavatam has one version, and Mahabharata has another version. Where, you know, I described last time that, you know, he diverted the Brahmastra to kill Parishad Maharaj. But yeah, Bhagavatam describes in this way that, you know, Arjun withdrew both the Brahmastra, and then they were established, you know, after punishing the Ashwatthama, Ashwatthama driven away, and then they are established, and then Krishna is about to leave. That time again Uttara comes, you know. But there seems to be little bit kind of a, you know, delay here, you know, bringing that pastime, because by that time Ashwatthama is already humbled, so he will not be using Brahmastra again. And Brahmastra's rule also is, you know, a person cannot use the Brahmastra twice. Like, you know, you see Indra, when he was unable to kill Namuchi using the Vajra, right? Vajra couldn't even do a scratch on his body. Say, I cannot use this weapon again because this weapon is useless for him. Right? So similarly, but yeah, these are two versions. Mahabharata is one version and Bhagavatam is another version. Slight variation.
Because when I was reading first canto, I always had that question because Arjuna withdrew both the Brahmastras, Ashwatthama as well as
Yeah.
his. And then afterwards, there is no mention Ashwatthama
Really.
saying another, but it is assumed that Uttara, because there is direct description that Uttara came running Krishna Mahabhava.
Mm.
So, and then she said that, oh, there is some red hot iron arrow is coming to my home and it's going to kill my
Right.
home.
Mm.
So please protect it. So that's what I was, it seemed little bit contradictory.
Yeah. So the Mahabharata actually explained that it happened that Ashwatthama diverted the Brahmastra. Arjun could have withdrawn both the Brahmastra because he had the power to withdraw the Brahmastra, but he withdrew his Brahmastra under the instruction of Vyasadeva, and Ashwatthama diverted his Brahmastra to Parishit Maharaj.
The Bhagavad version is.
Yeah, Bhagavad version is little delay, of the Brahmastra coming to Parishit Maharaj, to kill Parishit Maharaj. But then again, here the most important point is glorifying with Parishit Maharaj, with how he was protected. He's Vishnu Raj, he's protected by Krishna. So whether it happened, that moment or happened a little later, that's not the criteria. The criteria is actually that he was protected by Krishna. I think, therefore, I did not go into the Bhagavad because sometimes people may feel confused. When I first time I was very confused. Oh, okay, right. But then I read Mahabharata, it made sense in that way.
Vaishnavas mean Krishna's devotee.
Vaishnava means somebody who worships Vishnu or Vishnu. Yes, they're called Vaishnava. So, yeah, Vaishnava means anyone who is worshipper of Vishnu. So Vishnu means Ramchandra, Krishna, Narasimha, all the forms of Vishnu. I think Kunal Prabhu, you had some questions. Sorry.
Yeah, Prabhu. Prabhu, 2 points. First one, and this is my understanding, I might be wrong, but like when Kunti Mata said that you protected my sons, she also considered Karna along with it, like because Krishna, like Karna eventually got recognition as a king and was recognized as a son of Kunti. So he was also sort of protected by Krishna. That was one point. And the second point was like you said, like killing any living being is like a papa, and then it comes onto you basically as a Vaishnav. But like in our day-to-day lives, we unknowingly sometimes some insects, some animals get killed. Sometimes we knowingly, just because we don't like some cockroaches, we kill cockroach or we kill some insects, right? Like uh, then how does that fit into, like, does it reflect on us eventually? Or
Yes, Kunal, it's a very good question, practical question. The most important aspect is that we try to avoid as much as possible. We try to avoid killing unnecessarily anyone. Okay, that's the underlying principle.
Right.
Now, if in your home you have pests, the roaches or spiders, and a lot of ants come, and if you let them live, okay, let them live in your home with you, that will definitely hamper the health of everyone in the home. Your health and everyone in the family, their health will be impacted. Okay?
Mhm.
And that is not very good because if your health is impacted, then you cannot practice Krishna Bhakti. You have to live a healthy life. So, in order to keep yourself healthy, it is very essential that we keep our environment clean. Okay?
Mhm.
So, clean means sometimes if the pests come in our home, we have to do the needful of removing them, whatever way it takes. But the idea should be that we keep our home so clean in first place that the pests don't come in our home. Because if we leave the home unclean and then the pests come and then we kill them, it's like, you're inviting somebody to your home and when they come, you kill them. That's not a very good thing, right?
Yeah.
So don't invite the pests. Right? Not inviting the pests means keeping the home very clean. We should try to keep our home very clean.
Got it.
But if in spite of keeping clean, sometimes the pests or insects come, then we have to do the needful to remove them. If they're not huge in number, 2, 3, you can just take with the broom and throw them out. One time, Srila Prabhupada, he had, you heard that? Cockroach in his room. So one time there was a cockroach in Prabhupada's room. So Prabhupada, he picked up the cockroach by the leg, went to the window, he said, the whole world is yours. And he threw him out. So if you find 1 or 2 cockroaches, give them the whole world. Tell them you can occupy the whole world, not my home. Yes, Prabhu. I hope that makes sense, Kunal Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Sure. Yes.
Definitely. Thank you.
So one of the other pastimes so far shares in one of is that when Maharaj asked his disciples to kill a snake, and a snake appeared in the mud. And then Prabhupada was very surprised that why would he ask him to kill snake? Because snake is also a living being, and Vaishnavas don't kill living beings. So that time he asked this question, and he said, anything that is creating disturbance in our sadhana. So,
And then Prabhupada also mentioned that he found a verse later on in prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says that when the snakes and envious people are killed, even Vaishnava becomes loose.
Even the sadhus are happy.
Even sadhus are happy. Yes. So I hope you heard that, Kunal Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. I heard it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for.
Sudhir Maharaj,
And-
you have some question.
Sorry, Prabhu, I didn't hear the last.
No, Sudhir Maharaj has some question. You have something to say, Maharaj?
Yes, Prabhuji, I had a question not about Queen Kunti's prayers, but this is about Prahlad Maharaj's prayers and all, and the benediction he gets from Lord Narsimhadev.
No, if it is not connected to Kunti Maharaj, can we discuss another time in our morning meeting?
Morning, I'm not meeting, but so whenever we.
Yeah, we will discuss the comment.
Yeah.
But this was mainly dedicated to
Sure, Prabhu.
the subject matter we will discuss. So I think we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Yeah,